Welcome back. So we left off looking at the and, the and the not uh, logical operators. So let's extend our understanding to the other logical operations that we can perform. Okay, so let's say I have two numbers. Okay, let's say I have num1 and I decide that it's 34.5. Okay, and I have num2 and I say it's 13. Okay, so I can compare these two numbers. Okay, so I can do a comparison. So I could ask, is num1 less than num2? Notice it's less than, so the tip, the point is looking at num1. So is num1 less than num2? So if I ask you this question, you will tell me, or you would say num1, yes, num1, or excuse me, no, num1 is not less than num2. Okay? So you would say no. You could also say false, or you could say negative. All right? So if I ask this question in Python, okay, let's see what Python would say. So let's say that the answer is what? We don't know. What's the type of the answer? A bool. So Python will return false. Okay. So whenever we do any kind of comparison in Python, Python will return a bool as the result. Okay. What if I ask Python, is num1 greater than num2? And we know that's true, and Python agrees with us. What else can we ask Python about these two numbers? Well, we could ask, is num1 less than or equal to num2? Okay. And Python, of course, will say false. Now, let me break down what I mean by less than or equal. What I'm really asking is num1 less than num2? Or is num1 the same as num2? So notice, if I want to check if the two numbers are the same, I use two equal signs together with no space in between. Okay? So what I have expanded out here by using OR is what these two operators mean. Is num1 less than or equal to num2? What that actually means is this true or is this true? But since this is false and this is false, then false or false return false. So I just wanted you to see what is really happening here. Okay? So I could ask, is num1 greater than or equal to num2? And that would be true, right? Is it greater than num2? True. Is it equal, or is it equivalent, or is it the same as num2? It's not. So this is false, right? So when I ask, is num1 greater than num2, Well, Python says, yes, that's true. But when I ask is num1 this equivalent, the same as num2, well, it's false. But Python knows that if I have a true, and I have an or, and I have a false, then I know the result has to be a true. Alright, so the last thing we could ask is num1 equivalent to num2? And that's false. Alright, so these are our comparison operators. So I could have any statement, okay, here, and I could have any statement over here. And whenever I have a comparison operator in between, the result will always be a bool. Alright, so of course I could do something like this. Is 4 greater than 5? Or is 4 less than 7? Okay, so I can mix the comparison operators with the logical or Boolean operators. Alright, so is 4 greater than 5? Obviously that's false. Is 4 less than 7? That's true. So I know that the result has to be a true. Great, so this takes care of comparison operators in Python. In the next video, I want us to investigate the equivalent operator, okay, the equality operator, because it's one of those operators where it's quite easy to confuse with the assignment operator. So we'll discuss that in the next video. See you then.